Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the AC Show Quarantine Edition. Today, we've got a wonderful guest, Mr. Jimmy Shaw. Take a bow, sir.
I got to purify the air a little bit more, you know.
Oh, jeez.
There we go.
We got Jimmy Shaw's tidbit. We got Jimmy Shaw's tidbits today, along with my co-host, as always, the wonderful
Aaron, aka the Handy Outdoor Nerd.
Today we have kind of a different show planned for you guys because today we're going to be talking not clickbait stuff or anything like that. We're just going to be talking about, how has the disaster affected our everyday lives? A lot of weird stuff is going on because of the coronavirus or COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. A lot of stuff's going on in a lot of different places. And we're trying to start the conversation in our community as to how is this affecting your life and what are you doing, I guess, to overcome and compensate. So I guess the first question that I have is for Jimmy, because I'd like to talk a little bit. Jimmy, you're based in California.
Yeah.
I won't say what city so that people don't.
Silliness. I don't care.
Who doesn't care? I'm surprised
People that are watching this stream right now, Jimmy, know that now. But my question is, because you live in California and California has kind of been, while I don't feel like California is the heaviest impacted state in the country, I do feel like California is the state that is kind of leading the nation in what their preventative measures are. It seems like California does something and then soon other states follow suit. And so my question for you is, how has this virus and the quarantine protocols, or whatever you want to call the social distancing, how has that affected your kind of everyday life?
Well, let's start from the top. So, number one, when this all started coming out and people started freaking out and just lost their damn minds, they went out and bought all the toilet paper, all the bottled water, then it went to ramen noodles, then it went to canned food, then went to rice, then pasta, and then it just went to everything. They just bought everything up. This was before they even said, okay, it's starting to spread. Maybe we should start taking some matters into our own hands since the governor's not doing anything. Maybe us as counties should start doing something. So they finally announced, trying to remember what day that was. Was it Monday for San Francisco? It was San Francisco and all the counties up that way. So San Francisco, San Jose, Gilroy, pretty much from Gilroy north up to short of Sonoma County. Sonoma County came in after the fact. They actually came in after Monterey County did. Because at first it was those counties. So it was a total of 6 or 7 counties, all the cities involved with it. We're told, okay, you have a stay order, which means you have to stay home unless your job is an essential service. Mm-hmm. Essential service being gas station, repair shop for vehicles,
police,
grocery stores. It's of course healthcare workers, first responders, all that. This is all considered essential services. Well, of course, then you got your nail salons that think that they're essential, so they stayed open, and all these other stores are staying open. And that's where, they're starting to tighten that up. As of today, they started tightening things up. The next day was
when... But if I don't get my nails done, what's going to happen?
You can't get a haircut right now. All the barber shops are shut down.
I might die.
I might, I still have a razor, so,
Your hair's so long, and then it just sucks the life force out of you if it gets too long.
It does, except for Samson. I think he was the only one that ever got anything out of it.
Samson.
This is true. This is
That's
very
where all
true.
my life force is going. Samson's here.
So anyway, so that all kind of hit. And of course, the next day, Monterey County finds their first 2 cases. So they're like, okay, we're following suit. Stay order, it's like, okay. So of course they take my wife out to Denny's that night just before I think it was like 8:00 that night. We went over to Denny's, had some spaghetti and meatballs. We were the only ones in the restaurant. Only ones. And this Denny's is always at least half full.
Wow.
This night it was just me and her, and there was nobody else seated in that restaurant. It was spooky.
I bet.
So, we go home that night. Next day, I get up and tell my wife, I said, it would be funny thing is if I got pulled over on the way to work, because I work for the world's largest retailer, which of course has a grocery store inside it, which means it's an essential service. That's, yeah, so it all works out that way. At that time, since we also have a car repair shop, we do the oil changes and all that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, well, that's part of that too. So I'm thinking, I was joking with her. I'm like, what do you think would happen, if all of a sudden I get pulled over? This would be kind of an embarrassing deal. Oh, yeah, they're probably not going to do anything. Get to work, find out that day that one of my coworkers was coming from down south of Salinas, was coming up to Gilroy to go to work, and actually got pulled over saying, where are you going? I'm going to work. Where? Well, this huge retailer.
Wally World.
Yeah. And he's like, what do you do there? He says, well, I'm a manager. Okay, well, I guess that's considered an essential service because they sell groceries, right? And he says, yes, they do. Okay, you can go ahead and go. He's like, and what would you do if I said I was going somewhere else? What would you do about it? He says, until you're holding me at gunpoint at my house, I still have the right to go wherever I want.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, have a nice day, sir. It's like, dude, this is getting a little bit freaky, right? So he comes up to work and tells us about it. It's like, really? That's kind of a weird deal. So, you just kind of go on. And of course, groceries still wiped out. Everything's just wiped out. And then, of course, now it's statewide. The governor came out last night or yesterday, midday. As of midnight, which would be this morning, they declared the whole state as a stay home. You're not supposed to go to work except for essential services and all that. Well, now the counties started cracking down on the businesses that are not essential services. And I just learned not even an hour ago, my old place of business got shut down today.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, that's hitting pretty home. That's hitting. And the thing is, there's no plan in place for that company for the people who work there. It's not a deal of, okay, well, we're going to pay you. It's a deal of go home. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. That's tough, man.
Wow.
And so it's like, do they go for unemployment? Do they go for, does a company go ahead and keep paying them since it's the store that closed? It's not the fault of the employees. What do you do in that case? Yeah. And at this point, from what I understand, nobody knows. So, but yeah, that's happening all over because they, especially San Jose, they reported, I forget how many more cases today. And so now they're doing a full on, they went to all these different stores and said, you're not essential service. You're being notified you're not. Now close up. If you don't, we'll be back to fine you. So now they're going to start finding the businesses. If that doesn't work, they're going to start pulling their business license. If that doesn't work, then of course it's going to be criminal negligence and they're going to start putting people in jail.
So pretty much martial law.
Not quite, but it's
coming down to it.
It's coming that way, the way things are going. But you're starting to notice a difference when it comes to the amount of people going into the stores. There's less people in there. They're not as crazy as they were a few days ago, where they were just hoarding everything. And of course, now the stores have come up and said, okay, it's going to be one item of each. You want toilet paper? Here's your package of toilet paper.
Yep.
You want paper towels? Here's a package of paper towels. You want a case of water? Here's one case of water. And once they started doing that and people figured out, okay, well, the days of just coming in here and grabbing everything is over. Now it's settling down. Shelves are starting to fill back up. It's looking a whole lot better. I went through the store today. Today was my day off. Walked through it. It looks so much better than it did when I went home last night.
That's good. Yeah, no, it's freaky, man. Even I live in a tiny little community. Like I live out in the middle of nowhere, Podunk, USA, and it's crazy because they have been calling the police to the grocery stores every time they get a shipment of anything in. And even our Walmart is a 24-hour Walmart. They're supposed to be open 24 hours, and they've shut down. I think they're only open from like 7:30 to 8.
7 till 8:30 at night.
7 to 8:30. They're only open for that amount of time, and they're usually a 24-hour Walmart. They're only open for that short amount of time, and then when they first open the doors, they have to have the police there every single day because people are still running in just crazy, like hurting people. There was fights, people trying to kill each other over a freaking roll of toilet paper. Yeah. I saw a meme today. I thought it was hilarious. It was a germ, and it said, "I tried to infect someone, but they had toilet paper." You know, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why toilet paper is the thing, but it's such a big deal that it's causing fights. I mean, seriously, go to Home Depot and spend $10 and make yourself a bidet. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. Instead of
at least some water and you're good to go.
Man, I seriously. I mean, that's
back in the day. Let's talk about. I'm 46 years old. Back when I was a kid, my parents didn't have disposable diapers. So what did they use? They used cloth diapers. And what did they do? They washed them and they reused them.
Now and again, we will use disposables, but we have cloth diapers and we wash them.
Yeah. And so if push comes to shove, wipe yourself with that.
Seriously.
I mean, it's everybody acts like toilet paper is the biggest necessity of life. And it's like, no, that's not the biggest necessity of life. Bottled water, depending on where you live, I can understand that more. But at the same time, if your tap water is potable, why in the world are you going out and freaking out about that? Why don't you freak out more about containers to put water in if you want to store some and put a drop or two of chlorine in it so that it keeps it sanitized?
That and somehow if you lose the ability to get water, if you've got rainwater, which this is one thing that whenever certain states actually say it's illegal to obtain rainwater because it belongs to the government. It's
no. So what you're talking about was a guy
you can use or whatever to flush the toilet. So if there's some way to obtain the water from where you're at, like that, to flush your toilet, if you don't have it, because people are going to need to flush their toilet.
Yeah.
And if you can't
back in the day, they dug a hole in the yard and you had an outhouse.
Yeah, this is true.
Jimmy, I'm from Arizona and you're from California. Josh wants to know, what is this rain thing?
What's this rain? I hear we're supposed to get it this weekend, but probably not enough to worry about.
Yeah.
Hi.
Ellie wants to say hi and then he's going to go back to bed. Right, buddy? Uh-huh. Love you, bud. No, that's Greg. Greg is, bringing up. He says, last I checked, almost all toilets are next to a shower, right? Yeah, and that's true, Greg. I think the only real big problem with that is just that now you're coming into the point where you're starting to waste water, which is, you got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. You got to keep yourself clean. You got to keep yourself healthy. So You got to go take a shower. You got to go take a shower. And water. I mean, the Earth is 70% water. We've got an abundance of it. There's no reason. There's no reason to be worried about wasting water when people are dying. You know.
Yeah.
I would much rather you waste a gallon of water than freaking kill someone at the grocery store over a roll of stinking toilet paper.
Yeah. And I would like to know how many of the people that were doing all the crazy shopping are the ones that go on Facebook and have the thing about, this isn't a real virus. This isn't real. Oh, this is made up.
Yeah.
I guarantee they were in those lines.
Yeah. So, okay. So here's the next question that I've got because I think people are maybe a little exhausted of talking about the coronavirus. I think for me, okay, listen, I got 3 kids. All right, my oldest is 6 years old. I'm just looking to talk to another adult. You know, somebody who is not 6 years old. So I'm sick of hearing about the COVID-19. I'm sick of talking about the coronavirus. Here's what I want to talk about. All right. I am stuck in my house. I can go into my backyard. I can go into my front yard. I can stay in my house. And that is pretty much all that I am really able to do. I mean, I can go for a hike. I've been taking the kids out rock hunting. You know, we're driving out into the hills and stuff.
Yeah, technically, you can go for a drive because you're essentially still self-isolating because you're in your own vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want to use the gas in case for some reason I've got to get out of town.
Right.
If you guys don't know me very well, I'm a huge. I wouldn't call myself a doomsday prepper or anything like that.
Oh, we know that you got that bunker down underground. We already know.
I don't have a bunker, but I do really well with emergency preparedness. I have a plan for a lot of things. I don't let my cars get below half a tank, and I always fill them up, when they get to half a tank. I have food storage enough to last my family for a little while. My family always has on hand enough groceries that if something major were to happen, we could bunker down in our house and be fine for a couple months. And we wouldn't have to go to the grocery store and get stuff. We do really well with that. But one thing that, even though I have a plan for it, I don't really like my plan for it, is the boredom.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This was supposed to be my spring break. We were supposed to go on vacation. All my plans got canceled because I had a doctor's appointment. My doctor said, "Don't come in. We'll just call you." So,
don't call us. We'll call you.
Yeah. So my doctor just called me this morning, and they're like, "You feel okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I feel fine. I don't feel sick or anything." And they're like, "Okay, we're not going to bill you for a visit. We'll just see you in 3 months." Because I'm diabetic, and so I go see an endocrinologist specialist every 3 months, and they were like, "Don't even worry about it this month, man. Just don't even come." But we were supposed to go to a hotel. It was supposed to be all nice. We were gonna take the kids to the zoo. It was gonna be awesome, and we just ended up, having to cancel these plans. But I've been stuck at home with my 6-year-old. I've been outside pulling weeds. I have watched YouTube for 2 days straight, done absolutely nothing. I've played a video game, and I'm about at my wit's end. I've got a bunch of stuff that we've kind of saved up, card games and board games and stuff like that. It's just hard to play when the only person that you have to play with
is a 6-year-old.
Is 6-year-old. So, my next question for you guys, Josh, welcome aboard, buddy.
Josh, what's up, my man?
So, man.
Sorry, I didn't see you down there, Josh.
I gotta poke him down that way.
Yeah. So
I'll be down next to him real quick.
I don't know how to do that.
That's all right.
Man, in almost a month in person. So
I have not seen you. When was the last time we saw each other in real life?
I do love you, Aaron. Right now, you're awesome. I think it's been about a month at least. Yeah, no, it's been
more
a
than a month, I think. I think it's before I went to Tracy, wasn't it?
I saw you after some of your initial training, but that's about it for like a pop-in, and that was like it.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've actually sat down and done anything in like forever.
I know. We used to go to lunch almost every day. when we worked together, we always go to lunch together. We always hung out.
Well, I mean,
Now we
we're
just text.
one horse town where no one 3D prints, and it's like, hey, I've got this awesome like heroin-like addiction, but it involves filament. Do you want to hang? And it's like, yeah. Oh my god, could you tie me
Jimmy,
off, and I'll tie you off, and we'll just,
Can I
like,
film it? I need some of that 1.75. You got some more of that stuff? 1.7.
You got that STL?
dude, I made a thing. Can you tell me I'm getting layer lines? Can you tell me why I'm getting layer lines? Oh my god, yeah.
Some more AMZ, man. Come on.
So, back to the original question. So the question I have for you guys is, what are your boredom busters? What are you guys doing to try and keep yourselves entertained during this quarantine time? I've seen Josh post some stuff, and that's why I want him on the stream, because I've seen him posting a few things about what he's done to keep himself entertained, and I want to know what you guys have been doing as well.
If I had to stay home, I'd probably be out here 3D printing all the things, to be honest with you. And then, of course, do yard work. But the thing is, I really go by that. Thankfully, where I'm at, I'm still working. So I've still got the paycheck coming in. So I do get in the car and I do drive. And I don't need to get out. I just enjoy driving. A lot of people, they go and they want to sleep in. They want to do all this other stuff to relax. Me, I relax by driving.
Yeah, I always found that weird about you. Like, I look on Twitter and it's a 3D print, or it's like majestic. Like,
I was going to go to Yosemite tomorrow. I was going to go there tomorrow, and they closed it. They closed it at 3 o'clock this afternoon. They closed Yosemite down until further notice.
Dang it, man.
And I mean, it's hard to violate social distance in Yosemite. Like, okay, driving initially, but then I could bury a body there. I could put one there. I mean, seriously.
Ask Greg the Great about that one. Not kidding.
I mean, not monetized, but still kid friendly, Jimmy.
So language, and don't go into detail about the lime and saws required.
Just don't
There's
tell us where
a picture my wife took of me taking the snow, putting it in a cooler, because she likes to take the fresh snow, put vanilla extract on it, and eat it like ice cream.
It's a snow cone.
It's a Colorado thing.
It's a snow cone.
So my wife takes a picture. It's a picture of me bent over, the back of me bent over, digging in the snow. And Greg's like, "What are you doing? Burying a body?" Says you'll never know until the thaw.
Oh, horrible.
Hey, Eddie.
What's up, Eddie? You have what bed? You talking about the printer's bed or my bed?
So what do you do, Josh?
Other than trying to keep my wife calm, because that's a full-time thing. Just because the schools are crazy. She's a high school teacher, so. No, are you high school or are you middle? Or
I teach middle school.
Okay, so grade level higher, but still. And we discussed it like offline. It's a hot mess. I've been tinkering. I backed Joe Larson's 3D printing professor as Kickstarter, so I made like some ridiculous bug wings with little jet boosters.
Saw you post that earlier.
Hold up, wait. Boom.
That is awesome, Josh. I like that so much.
Give me
you modeled those bug wings with the connectors? Yeah,
on Tinkercad. So give me a sec. So there was an early release someone actually rendered of this crazy little jump jet thing, which I was awesome. And I'm like, I want to make one of those. So that's where this overscaled jet with wings came from. And then there's another one I made that is jet with 2 sets coming out. And then Dan, I don't remember what his handle is. I'm just going to cheat and look it up because I was talking to him like a few minutes ago. Dan, the 3D printing dad.
Yeah.
So this is his little exhaust system. I'm like, trade you. So he sends me this STL and I send him these, And then I got bored and made like a little stand so I can make it sit all cute. Yeah.
Nice.
Because honestly, I love the hell out of the Print-A-Block series. Which
really cool.
He actually used this adorable diorama I made, which I'm like, oh my god, because YouTube, I was on an interview with Ben Joe, and we got a beta, which was cool. So I made, because I don't think I actually sewed Jimmy. So, oh no, the leg.
Yeah. Hold up, I want to pull this up.
Ridiculous back alley.
Oh, wow.
Which I then hid a ton of bizarre little details. So, like, he did the Knight Rider kit for the box derby, and then a little 3D professor poster in the back. I don't know if I can get it.
I can see it. I can see it.
The Print-A-Block logo, which I'm not sure if that's actually going to be clean enough to show.
I can kind of make it out. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it came into focus, barely.
And then this one, which is like totally legible, is his robot. And then I did the little low poly dinos.
That's cool.
Nice.
And it literally says low poly under it. And then just filament of the month club. So I'm like, you gave me free stuff. I give you cool free advertising because coolness.
Nice.
And then, of course, the actual little mini itself.
Well, and the thing is, like he gave us and several other people to beta test it.
Yeah, which was fun.
He didn't have to do that, and also the people that beta tested it didn't have to back it because they already got free stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, but then he added a lot of cool stuff. So I'm like, okay, take my money.
I backed it, and I also backed the one that I got the low poly dinos as well.
Yeah, I got that one too.
Animal.
Well, no, like with this Kickstarter, there was an option to get the low poly dinos as well.
Oh, really?
Yep. So that's what I did.
Nice.
Yeah, there was that. I went with the farm animals instead because my wife's an agriculture.
Yeah.
So I'm super happy. I print the first cow. She loves cows. She's like, oh, it's a cow. The eyes are too low. I saved money. I spent time 3D printing.
Well, see, I actually had someone that wanted, whenever we were sitting there talking and Chris was showing off his low poly dinos, my friend Ivy, she at work, she goes, Aaron, can you print me one? I was like, yeah, I have to buy the pack, but yeah. So the Kickstarter was a lot cheaper for me to do, to get low polys and that, because it was $30 that I spent just to get both those instead of spending $40 on his website for low polys.
Right.
The Kickstarter was just the way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was
really low.
So can you guys hear my printer going right now?
No.
Yeah.
Is that the shiny new one that was supposed to be the non-op? Yeah, I hate you a little bit. He buys a non-operational one that works with like nothing.
It works perfectly. As soon as he got it, he just started printing with it. It works perfectly fine.
Operational to those who don't know how to operate it.
The problem is some of the files they had slice and printing were printing at 190C.
Yeah.
Some buildings can print at that, but that's not That's not what you do. No.
So, did they actually describe the issue?
No.
Those are the best ones to get.
It said something with the hot end, like the extruder. There was a problem, whatever. But then my friend picked it up for me, and the guy said the I don't know if it was his or their kids, but I was talking to his wife. She's the one that listed. She said that he was going to be there, and so my friend picked up. And my friend said that he said the extruder motor might be bad. He didn't know. I was like, I've got spare motors. No, it literally. The only thing that's actually wrong with it is I cannot do the automatic bed leveling probe thing for it, because the little end stop thing that actually goes for it is not there. That's it. That's literally it.
Man.
Yeah, but who really wants that feature anyways? Like, with 10% awesome and 90% yourself.
But I manually level my beds.
Yep.
I have one printer that has the bed leveling on it, and I hate it.
Well, and the nice thing is I don't have to have it. Like I told to kind of do it, but then I just sat there and manually leveled it and just moved it around manually.
Mm-hmm.
Works fine.
Yeah. As long as you compress those springs a little bit, you're good to go.
Yeah.
So,
what I want is a different type of auto bed level. Instead of having like one of those mesh bed leveling programs that compensates for a warped bed and stuff like that, I want it to drop the bed straight down and have 4 little tiny motors that actually move the
bed leveling.
So it's auto manual bed level. And then it can do the mesh bed level after that once it's gotten the bed actually flat where it should be. Then it can do the mesh bed leveling so that it compensates for, warps or whatever in the print.
Does anybody have that yet?
I just made that up off the top of my head. We should invent this.
Gibson makes guitar tuner, the what do you call the where you put the string through and tighten it up? What's that called?
Frets?
No, the frets are on the neck.
No, I don't know, the little knobs.
Tuning.
Yeah, the knobs and you turn it. Huh?
It's called a tuning peg.
Yeah. Okay, so they have auto tuning pegs. So you do it, and it'll actually tune it to the tone that string's supposed to be at.
Really?
You can take that technology right there and incorporate that into something like that.
Absolutely.
So it makes small enough motors and geared enough to where if it will tighten a guitar string to tone, it'll adjust that bed.
Because it would be cool.
Price. Because, you've got, 3 stepper motors in a standard, and you need 4 individual, and you would need some sort of, dedicated device. Not necessarily, it's not like it's going to chew a lot of computing power, but you would need something to level it, which isn't that big a deal. But you're looking at 4 additional stepper motors or other controllers. And I feel like it would double the price. Like, your $200 printer is now a $400 or $500 printer, but I could buy a Prusa quality and then level the bed myself. And then I'm like, I'm buying a Prusa.
Well, but if you are only
quality here, Josh, we're talking about it would be awesome to have it.
No, you could sell it as an add-on feature.
Ever. I am not mocking your idea. I'm just, dollars and cents, it makes me sad. Because I was thinking that exact same idea because Joe Larson, yet again, yesterday shot a video, and it was this really self-contained, pretty printer. And then he starts talking about trying to adjust things. And then I look at it, and I'm like, everything's in closure. How would I fix this? I don't even think you could level it. And then I started thinking, and same thing, like, why doesn't the bed not meet? Because I once talked to this fellow over here. Hey, my G-Tech really needs, a probe. And what was
that was my reply to him.
Content For any of you watching, he's talking about shaking pepper. Assault him.
And
Yeah.
what did I tell you to do?
Don't or buy a new printer because horrible.
I told you
Horrible.
tighten.
Firmware, horrible.
I told you to tighten the knobs down to the springs are compressed halfway.
You don't want to do this, horrible idea, and then screws and horrible idea. I will come to your house, otherwise horrible idea.
Yeah.
But
That's probably
wasn't
what I
he right?
said.
I blame
Wasn't
him
he
for
right?
my bias. This man is
I believe there was more F words involved in it, but
it was one of those where I'm like, okay, they're gonna kick us out of the food court, sir. I want to
was it the food court or was it Carl's Jr.'s? I forget.
No, I think we were eating McDonald's at that time.
Okay.
Because the Carl's is farthest away from, so that's for angry days.
Chopsticks is for relaxing.
Yes.
There you
That
go.
was for when I said, F you 45 minutes, and that F is for fudge, because,
Okay, you got to remember he is Canadian, so it just like flows.
Oh, so
you know what?
that's why he's so apologetic about it.
No, I just respect your channel. I kind of respect his. This one, I'm going to use some language that'll get him
I like
demonetized.
how you're like, I respect yours. I kind of respect Aaron.
There you go.
But this guy, oh no.
Well, out of all of us, most professional,
Yep.
mostly professional. Hey, it's Jimmy.
You know, I do my best.
For that audio loop the other day, which I will admit was awesome.
What happened here?
So Twitter is like, we're still FaceTiming, and he's like, we're doing Twitter. I'm like, why not? Why not the YouTube? No, Twitter.
Because
So
I have my phone. I was using my phone.
No, you have to do it on your phone. And of course, the app doesn't work right, so I'm not getting his audio. But he can get mine. So I can go on YouTube and stream it with a slight delay, but then my mic is then picking up what I'm saying through the computer, and it's looping. And then my phone hears what my computer is saying and loops it again. And then the computer produces it, loops it again. I heard myself say the same sentence 5 frickin' times. It was adorable.
You created a chewing monster, huh?
I'm saying old things, and then I'm trying to say new things while I'm saying old things, and I'm saying new things, saying old things, and over and over and over and over. And of course, the camera will not pick me up because. So, yeah.
That's amazing.
It
That's
was
the best story I've heard all day.
Like, don't even watch the whole video. Just watch the opening while I try like a dozen times to join the chat. It
Yeah,
is.
like Josh joined. Josh went away. Josh joined. Josh went away. Josh joined. Josh went away.
Yeah, it's garbage.
It was
Garbage.
So are you staying at home now,
When
Josh?
it works right. What'd you say, Jim?
Are you staying at home now?
Yes. I am now fully non-essential, which I'm like, cool, because selling beds was totally essential.
Yeah, it was.
You need to sleep, but it's a pandemic. Let's go out and get a new bed.
You know, my wife woke up this morning and said, "Honey, I think we need a new mattress." Seriously, exactly what she said. So
Go get it now.
I'm just saying. That's what she said. She told me that this morning. She said she woke up this morning. She said, "Oh, my back hurts. We're gonna have to go get a new mattress." Well, listen, I'll DM you later. We'll talk about mattresses.
I'm not going to be inappropriate. It's Canadian. It's Mexican. You got to move it a decimal.
Wow, and that's rough because you are Canadian, and so that's a lot, coming from you.
He makes
All
me laugh. Especially when I ask him to say about. Tell us
I'm
about
not
it.
allowed to swear on his channel. I'm trying to be nice.
I
Well,
appreciate
trying to
that.
talk
Josh.
to you the way you deserve.
I appreciate that, Josh. I really do. I really do.
It's difficult because a coworker once told us that she would pay money to see us stream together because of your level of you would be demonetized if you were monetized.
Oh yeah, my channel would be gone if I if we did that.
It's probably the only reason he's never streamed with me. So
We
you know,
need
no problem.
We'll just make an 18-year older.
Yeah, pretty much.
Make it an 18+ stream. Oh my gosh. Just keep your clothes on, Jimmy. That's all I'm asking, man.
Oh my gosh.
So, all right.
After party stream.
So, another question that I've got for you guys here is, so we talked a little bit about boredom busters, and a lot of you guys are talking about 3D printing and stuff. I personally am going to start some new projects right now with the schools closing down. You guys know I'm a teacher. I teach robotics in my school, and so with the schools shutting down, it's looking more and more likely that we're going to be moving to some sort of online curriculum, and classes like mine, which, don't get me wrong, I like to think of myself as a pretty smart guy. I think there is a way that I could teach robotics even if the students didn't have a robot. I'd like to think that I could figure it out. But, you know, in light of everything, they're asking that we come up with ideas for what we can do to not overwhelm the students, because these students are being thrown into a 4-week-long spring break. And then as soon as they come back from spring break, it's going to be all online classes. That's going to be a completely different format than anything they're used to. There's going to be a steep learning curve for 5 weeks left in the school year.
Well, that's teachers too. Not all of you are techies. I mean,
right.
School,
well,
that's an issue.
It's a concern. And so I'm looking at making some different content for my channel. I feel like Mr. Carroll Science is a good avenue. It's a good name already to be able to make, you know, content that is classroom related. So I can actually make videos that are directly related to lessons that I would need to teach, and then they would be linked to worksheets and things like that for my classes. And I'm thinking that's a really good avenue for me. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing for boredom busting. But what my next question is, because we got about 17 minutes left in the stream. We got a little time still. We're still good. My next question is, what precautions are you guys taking along with social distancing, or maybe explain to me what social distancing looks like in your opinion? What are the precautions that you're taking in order to keep yourself safe? And because I have my dad is 60 years old, but he's also had a kidney and pancreas transplant, which means he takes immunosuppressants. And so his immune system is trash right now. So if he were to get sick, it would be a really big deal. So not only am I concerned about keeping myself and my own family safe, I'm very concerned with keeping my dad safe and doing what I can. He lives next door to me. So if I were to go out and get sick and one of my kids got sick, it's likely that one of my kids would wander over to grandma and grandpa's house next door. And then, you know, next thing you know, my dad's sick. So what precautions are you guys taking to keep yourself safe, your kids safe? What does social distancing look like to you? All of that rolled into some question somehow.
First and foremost is knowing how it spread. And from everything that I've read, heard, and hear on the radio and everything, it's spread through the droplets that spray out of a person's mouth. When you're talking with them, whenever they cough, when they sneeze, it's the droplets that come out. It's the bodily fluids. You get that on your hands, you touch your eyes, touch your nose, touch your mouth. You've just given yourself the opportunity of getting sick. So that's the reason why they say wash your hands. Just wash your hands. So being in the position I'm at, I'm all over the store. Was it 12 miles, between 10 and 12 miles a day? I walk in that place. So I'm constantly making contact with people, not touching them. I'm not going up to them. I'm keeping my 6 foot distance from them. And one of the biggest things is you don't talk face to face. You talk slightly off to the side. That way you're not spraying toward them. And you're hoping to God that they're not spraying towards you. It's better if you kind of fix on something so they're looking at it and you're looking at it, you're having the conversation. Yep. It kind of works. If you don't make direct eye contact, they don't feel the need to make direct eye contact. Spray you right in the eyeballs. The other thing is, of course, washing your hands. Make sure that you're not touching your face. If you're walking and coughs like that, I hold my breath as I walk by. I will hold my breath until I get about 3 or 4 feet past them where I knew that they coughed or sneezed, and then I'll start breathing again. That's just something I've always done, to be honest with you. Yep. But it's just that kind of stuff like that. And so far so good, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So at my work, before we just closed, one of the things we would do is sanitizing any commonplace areas as soon as you came on. So I sell mattresses, so phones, registers, computers. Those are your 3 hot ticket items where multiple people are going to be using. The computer itself is not a dedicated unit, but sitting out on the floor. So kids will end up, it's a thing. So in between uses, lightly misting with a disinfectant, wiping it down. Same with the phone, same with the register, same with the keypad for people swiping cards. Same habits that Jimmy just said, but then disinfecting the area. Disinfecting your flat areas are very important. So tabletops, countertops, seats, any place where things can settle. Because the idea about these germs is they're not going to magically suspend themselves in the air. Eventually they will. Now, these are very small particulates, so they can't stay in the air for a while. It's still conjecture how long. I've heard figures like 3 to 4 hours, which if it's a small enough particulate, possible, but I've not seen an actual CDC source saying that, so I'm not going to vomit bad info. But you can assume at the very least something, even just think cologne or perfume, spray in the air, it's going to stay there for at least a few minutes.
Yep.
The germ staying in the air for a little bit is a thing. It will eventually settle, so be aware of people coughing at you. Where it can settle, because
he turned right towards you too, Josh. Did you see that?
Yeah. I feel
right towards you.
Violated. Flat surfaces are the ones, common areas. If you're handling actual currency, if you can find isopropyl alcohol, which is a big if, dude, you're about to spill like $10 worth. Wait for it.
Dude, I got him on the head.
Pour one out for my brother down the river.
Yeah. So, areas, paper money, any coins. These trade hands like crazy, especially $1 bills. I mean, the shelf life on those is typically 1 to 2 months before they have to be retired. Passing how many hands? Your virus has a protein jacket on the outside, which is why we wash our hands, because it sticks to the lipids, the oils in our skin. And the soap, if you've ever dropped a Dawn in the sink, the oil disperses. It's affected by it. So that's why we're washing, literally just trying to wash the virus off. Hand sanitizer is awesome, but it's a escape It kills stuff. It doesn't remove stuff. So, yeah, wash your hands, you dirty animals.
And for God's sake, when you go to the bathroom, wash your hands. Mm-hmm. Good God. How many people, even this week, I have seen going to the bathroom, And they go right out the door. It's like you want to just go out to the door and yell after them, saying, "Wash your hands."
Jimmy, you know how I handle some of the fun maintenance things?
Yeah.
So one of the sinks in the men's room, it detached the actual drain pipe. So I'm working on it, trying to get it to work. And the sheer amount of people, there's a sink beside me at a bit of a distance. And guys are walking by, and I'm like, you can wash your hands. Sir, you can wash your hands. You can wash your hands. Yes, agua. And people not washing hands, terrifying.
So
It's adorable.
this right here, my wife just brought me her phone. She said that the clinic that I go to, my local doctor, they've been asking people to make their own masks, and if you have to go into their office, they're asking you to wear a mask.
Yeah, that is a big thing on Twitter right now. Is people sewing masks? There's a big push with the cosplay community to sew masks. There are a handful of 3D printed designs that you can do with TPU to make a mask cover, and then
He's not talking about toilet paper. That's TP.
Actually, I know how to make ghetto toilet paper, which I
saw your video on ghetto toilet paper with an index card, and I was like, not enough. It's not enough.
Yeah. But you're taking a TPU, you're taking cuts out of a standard disposable mask, putting in a layer of cotton, a 3D printed mesh disc, then your actual piece of face mask, another mesh piece, and then it's clamped all together airtight. And you got to argue it's decent. It's better than nothing. I mean, a scarf around your face is better than nothing. But I mean,
how about like 10 plies of toilet paper?
That's what they need all the toilet paper for.
Sir, if you have 10 slices of toilet paper, you could buy a small factory making face masks. I mean, the price gouging's killing me. But yeah, so anyone else? What are you guys doing? Because mostly I'm just spraying sanitizer like crazy.
Well, I'm seeing him coughing into his shirt, which is the thing you're supposed to do.
And look, I've got long sleeves on, so it's like coughing into a mask.
I gotta pull it a little bit tighter, you know.
Flexing his gun. Hey, Josh, show us your guns after your push-up challenge, my homie.
Yeah, what's up with all these push-ups, man?
Look at him. He's looking strong, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
You keep on going, all right?
I'm not flexing, trying to show off my muscles. Hey, Jimmy, how many push-ups you up to? 3? Wow, cool.
All right, so this goes on along with the first question and the second question.
Yep.
Because, I mean, I've talked about this with Josh over the Twitter fiasco. So, as of Thursday, my wife's work closed down. They're not going to open up. They're going to try to do teletherapy so they can actually see the kids, which would be nice because then it's not just my paycheck. And I work for broadcast television, so that's a little hard to, I mean, it's technically essential, I guess, because it gives people the information that's out there that don't have computers. Excuse me. I wipe things down when I get to work with Clorox wipes all the time. So, and a lot of people are keeping their distance away just because they like to not get in trouble for being too close, especially whenever you get viewers commenting on that the reporters are not keeping their social distance.
Oh my gosh, did you see that interview with Donald Trump today? That was so funny.
16 people.
I'm not a huge fan of Donald Trump. Like I'm not like a giant fan of him, but whatever. But when I saw him deal with the reporters today, I laughed so hard. It was hilarious. About 75-80% of you guys should probably go. You guys aren't social distancing. You know, there's only about 2 or 3 that I like anyway. You right there, you can just go. Just get out of here.
Told that one guy he's a horrible reporter.
Oh my gosh, I laughed so hard. Oh,
well, see, here's the funny thing. I work in broadcast television, and I don't really watch it when I'm not there because it's always in my face. So it's the last thing I want to do. And also, I like to sleep finally whenever I'm able to sleep, to actually get my sleep. So, and I've been trying to get stuff done, like the office. I've been kind of working in the office. So it's a mess. But my filament was over here, my shelf. And now it's over here.
Nice.
So
Although I realized you have like this kind of mustard, lime, grainy blend of. I like to judge you a little bit.
So that's how it was whenever we got the place. This has been yellow.
So blame someone else. Okay, I see how it is.
you know, Aaron,
I've not had time to repaint it yet.
What he's trying to tell you is he really likes the color way now deep, but he's trying not to take responsibility for it.
Aaron, you ought to try the green screen filter with your mustard yellow wall and see.
Oh no, I'll show you what it does.
Oh God.
Let's do this one.
It's perfect. Look, you repainted it in seconds, Josh.
There, perfect.
Although, do you have green in your beard? Because your beard's getting fuzzy on the first settings.
There you go.
Aaron, it actually works pretty stinking good, man.
Yeah, it does.
Awesome, yeah.
Tons of people. I did not tell my wife I was on that stream.
Uh-oh.
Say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Great to see
Good,
you.
how are you?
This is the closest I get to you guys.
I know, right?
How you doing?
Been busy. They keep us busy working from home.
I know.
Let me tell you, I'm not looking forward to it. I lucked out with having this start with our spring break, and so we've got a week of spring break, and then now the governor of Arizona just mandated that we keep schools closed for 3 more weeks. But I'm imagining that during those 3 weeks, I'm going to be doing something similar to what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
We have 2 staff. Well, we have an all staff meeting at 9. Then we have a teacher certificated at 10:45, and then we get task cards every day. Luckily, I am technology inclined, so my task card is really easy every day, but for others, not so much.
Tell them about the 7 a.m. thing.
What 7 a.m. thing?
The clock-in thing.
Oh, yeah, we have to report our absence every day by 7 a.m.
Wow.
So you got to get up before 7.
I'm curious what's gonna happen with my job right now, because I don't know.
We have to do that. We have to do our task cards because it's mandated that we get paid, and so they have to have some kind of accountability system.
Yeah.
So I get paid, so I don't have to worry about that. But we're not allowed to grade anything we give the kids. We're supposed to do only review activities, so nothing new. And I'm just kind of like,
See,
if I was a kid, as much as I love school and I'm a nerd that way, I would not do it.
Only review activities
For the last 3 quarters.
And
So-
ungraded.
Gosh, they're gonna be so bored. Why would anyone do that?
And then we have to make them fun and engaging and whatever.
Oh, so I've got a friend who lives up north, and and by north I mean Wisconsin, and she's a special education teacher.
Oh yeah, they're having.
And she's actually been doing crafts live on Facebook and also reading stuff. And tomorrow she's going to be reading the book, I think it's called I Am Einstein. So
I wanted to do something like that where like I read like children's books and stuff like that, but I was worried about copyright and stuff like that. I wasn't sure like if you get strikes for something like that for reading books. I just don't know.
I think
With
as long as you're
YouTube,
not trying to those off.
whatever and all their fun stuff.
I mean,
Well, like,
I don't think if you set up like a Google Meet or like a Zoom or something and had your kids like chime
Yeah, that would
chime
be
in,
different.
that's different because they're your kids.
right, but I'm talking about like I was thinking about like making some YouTube videos and just posting them up on YouTube. Which would be
Yes,
totally
because all those
You'd probably have a problem.
awesome YouTubers, and I'm this guy who posts push-ups.
Josh, man, you calling me an awesome YouTuber? I don't know. I haven't posted anything. This is what I do. I do the AC show, and that's it. Like that's all I've done.
that's really all I've been doing too.
Well, how many followers do you have?
I'm here.
How many followers do I have?
Speaking of Chris, I'm up to 238.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna pass me so soon, man. Everybody loves you. Everybody hates me now.
I have like 16, so I get to call all of you awesome YouTubers.
I don't even know how many I got anymore.
Jimmy, you got to make some videos and shout us out so that we can get more subscribers.
Yeah, I do.
He needs to make videos because he's been sad and not wanting to do the videos.
And now that you're stuck inside, you're gonna have to start printing again, man.
But I'm still working.
Yes, but you can't go anywhere when you get home.
That's no excuse, Jimmy.
Sure.
So you can do all rated R streams.
So I'm trying to see how many subscribers I have now.
Wasn't it over 10,000? Like almost 15,000 million?
Yeah.
Million
Yes, you secretly love the dog.
higher?
10,895.
Yeah.
Let me just.
It wasn't
let me just pull up
10,900, but I did the last live stream and I lost some people.
Hey.
Well,
Nice.
right now I'm sitting at 248.
Totally loyal.
What are you doing, dog? Ow. Okay.
All right. Well, I'd love to keep talking with you guys. I'd love to ask a few more questions about how you guys are keeping yourself busy. If you guys are interested, you guys that are watching, or if you're watching live, or if you're watching later, however it's working, I'm going to post links to social media for these guys. And throughout this week, we're going to be posting funny things or fun things that we're doing to keep ourselves occupied, keep ourselves from getting bored. And you guys follow us on social media. Next week, we're going to have our stream on this guy's channel down here. I will say what's one thing that is coming this week that I plan on doing.
Push-up challenge.
I do need to start my push-up challenge. I want to do 100 push-ups in 100 days challenge, where I do 1 push-up the first day, 2 push-ups the next day, progressively working up until I do 100 push-ups on day 100.
You're out, Kat. You are
But one thing that I noted, there's a challenge that I saw on, let's see, Physics Girl. Do you guys know who Physics Girl is?
No.
If you don't know who Physics Girl is, she's awesome. Do you guys know Simone Yurch?
avocado.
Mm-mm.
So she's a huge, like a really good friend of Simone Yurch, but she has her own channel that she does on, like she answers like physics questions. Like she went and interviewed like skateboarders and determined how they did these impossible tricks that physically they should be impossible, yet they're able to do it. She does a lot of really, really cool stuff. But she did a challenge. She was like, I'm bored. I'm stuck at home. Can't do anything. So she did a challenge where she did 20 different science experiments in less than 5 minutes. So she had all these science experiments set up, and it's all stuff that you can just find in your house. And so she had them all set up, and then she said, if you can beat my time, then I will shout you out in my next video. So she said, video yourself doing this challenge, post it on social media, tag me on Twitter, and if you beat my time, then I'll shout you out. So my plan for this week is I am going to destroy her time. Like, not just beat it, I'm going to destroy it. But I think the rules of the competition are You have to actually do the experiment. You have to explain how it works. And I think you have to do one experiment at a time. And so those are kind of the rules that I'm going to follow, because that's how she did it. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and post that on my channel this week, so you guys can see it. But that's my plan. What do you guys got anything awesome coming up?
At the moment. Well, I do have a print I got to do for a niece of mine over in Colorado. I'm going to start probably doing the print tomorrow on it, since I'm not going to be able to go to Yosemite now. But it's going to be for a cosplay costume that she's doing. It's got like this skull to it and a knife, and I forget what else.
Oh, the Skeksis from the Dark Crystal. That's the one you were doing before, right?
Yeah. I'm actually going to get the print going.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's an awesome looking print.
What happened?
Layer shift. Yeah.
So hopefully I'll be able to make some videos from that and put those up.
Yeah. Which that'll be a cool build.
Yeah. See, tomorrow I'm working on garden stuff. I couldn't do it today. It got really cold. Tonight's actually supposed to be like 28 degrees. It's 33 right now. So I was going to start seeds and try to get my potatoes planted and get them going, but that just wasn't going to happen. So
I'm starting a garden this week too.
Oh, and that's one thing Chris and I was talking about, because Josh and I was talking about. Jimmy, you can join this train if you like to.
Actually, we talked about doing a 3D printed vertical garden at one point.
Yes, we did.
That'd actually be really cool. But we were talking about doing kind of a little urban for you and more rural for me gardens. Chris is out in Arizona, so it's a little bit different climate than where you're at. So I thought maybe kind of a different video thing together, where we all do this kind of series on multiple channels.
That would be cool, because I'm good with mixed media and assorted. Jimmy's, he's got one or two printers behind him out of his, 1,800,000 printers. Dude, you live 2 miles from me and you won't let me see your printing house of awesome.
Yeah. I got to get you over here. I need some help cleaning.
Yeah. So that would be fun, because, yeah.
I actually do have a really, really good skill with plants.
Mm-hmm.
People in the gardening community call me the executioner.
Oh, so
You're gonna die, lettuce.
Give me the hardiest plant that can survive through anything, and I will find a way to make it die.
Oh, yeah.
See that? Those are holding seeds. Every single white one is one that's got labeled for seeds.
Man.
That is
Aaron, that green screen thing works so well in that room.
yeah.
I know.
It works so good.
I was actually quite surprised that it actually turned out really well.
That's awesome, man.
It's like, I guess I don't need a green screen. I don't know.
Well, they'll let me at school to go to left.
Well,
And I'm not ginger.
hey, you don't look like a Weasley. So, first of all, I would just like to say thank you guys so much. If you watched it live, thank you so much. If you are watching it later on, I appreciate everything that you guys do to support the channel, support us, support each other. Make sure you guys wash your hands. Do your best to keep yourselves. Just stay home. You know what I mean? If you can stay home, just stay home. That's just honestly, that's the best way to keep from spreading, contracting, whatever. Even if you're young and you have a strong immune system, you never know the impact you're going to have on somebody else. Like I was saying earlier, my dad, he could get really sick and he could die. He's immunocompromised, and so you never know who you're going to come in contact with, and it's not just about you, it's about the good of the nation at this point, the good of the world, really. And so stay home if you can stay home. If you have to go out, take the proper precautions, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, do whatever you need to do.
If you need to cough, remember one thing: dab on the haters.
My soul, sir.
And with that beautiful one-liner, thank you guys so much for watching, and I guess we will see you next week over on Aaron's channel.
Yep.
Thank you for joining.
So take care, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Air 5, salutations. Electronically.
Bye.
Did you see Demolition Man? Air 5 and the Wiggle.